All right, let's get into the topic for the day. We've got a great speaker. He left his country, landed in the United States on the East Coast July 9th of 2002. He vowed to get to America. He understood people here had opportunity and he didn't have it in his country. And he was looking and praying to get here. And when he landed, he went to work and he started working at Applebee's at the age of 20. And all of a sudden he found out he could make more money using his mouth, talking about an opportunity than he can by working at Applebee's. He's 28 years old today, and I'm so excited. Matter of fact, he has a birthday coming up. I'm going to tell you how much I pay close attention to him. His birthday is March the 6th. He'll be the right young age of 29 on March the 6th. And I am just so excited to have him on our call. Without further ado, the one and only and one of the youngest Platinum Regional Vice President, probably the first youngest SVP the company has, the great Mr. Shakeel Cooper.
Feels so good to be back. The first call of the new year, and I'm really excited to be back. One thing I learned about this year is that, like you just said, it actually makes it 20 years since I moved to America. And just looking back, I remember just sitting on the steps and looking at the sky saying, one day, I can't wait to come to America to be successful, because I had a lot of family back then that was flying out, finding it out. And we always thought everybody in America was rich until I got here and I realized that wasn't the case. So what I would like to tell the people on the call who don't know my background, I'm 28 years old. I got involved in the business October 27, 2013, no business background, working at a restaurant called Applebee's. When a close friend of mine offered me opportunity to make some money, I said, sure, I'll come check it out. Came out, seen the information, and it made a lot of sense. When I saw the information, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a decision to become my own boss and put all of this effort, time, and energy that I was putting into working at Applebee's into building my own business. And that's what I did. Moving forward, I remember a month later, I made a decision to go, full-time doing this business. And it's because I was going to college and I wasn't going to school because I wanted to go to school. I was just that person where my friends was going to college and I'm just working at a restaurant. And I was feeling real bad because I actually cared what people thought about me back then. So I got involved in the business, had a lot of success. Fast forward today, I have thousands of business partners. We get paid on thousands of customers. And what I love about this opportunity is that they have together a system in place that if you just follow the simple system and the leadership, that you can have success. You don't have to have any type of special background. You don't have to come from money or anything like that. As long as you have a hot white burn and desire and you're hungry and you have a work ethic, you can be successful in this opportunity. So today, I just want to talk about a few different topics to start off the month. So what I'm going to do right now, if you're not taking notes, I would suggest that you do take notes. I'm going to share my screen so we can go right into the information. Hold on one second while I do this. The first thing I want to talk about is make a commitment and your chances of success will increase. Make a commitment. See, a commitment is doing something after the feeling has been gone. Most people say they're committed to something, but when tough times come around, when things are not going the way that they're supposed to go, what do most people do? They give up, they quit. So you have to stay committed. And that's the secret to success. People ask me all the time, man, how you been doing? Listen, this is my 9th year doing this. This is the longest thing I've ever done. But do you think it would ever be a chance of me having success if I wasn't committed for almost 10 years doing something in my 20s? Do you understand that your 20s are when people think that you're supposed to live your life, you're supposed to party, you're supposed to just live carefree? But instead of me doing that in my 20s, I said, you know what? I would sacrifice the parties and the whole, doing what everybody else is doing in my 20s so that when I'm 30 plus, I can live my life the best way I ever wanted to live. Just imagine if you sacrifice your 20s, you build businesses, you work hard, you worked on yourself. And then when you get to your 30s, you can start living a life that most people try to live when they're 50, 60 years old. Because most people follow the 40 year plan, which is go to school, get a job, work for 40 years, 40 hours a week, and retire 40 years later. And to me, I didn't want to do that because I seen this one quote that said that most people work for 50 years of their life. They retire when they're 65, and then they did by the time they're 70 plus, maybe 80 years old. So you're telling me you're going to work 50 plus years to only enjoy 11 years of your life? When I seen that quote, it scared me. And it told me, you know what, get to work now while you're young, while you have the energy, while you have the money, while you have all of the time in the world, just sacrifice it right now. And that's what I did. That's one of the secrets to my success. I realized that I was young. I realized that I had time on my hands, and I realized I had the energy and I had the money to invest right now while I have it, because most young people, we have money, but guess what we do with it? We buy shoes, clothes, shop, and a whole bunch of things that do not help us in the long run, right? So if you had just started your own traditional business, right, it would be fair to assume to you that devoting time to it will be considered a level of commitment financially, physically, and mentally. I will repeat that. You need a certain level of commitment financially, physically, and mentally. Meaning that if you don't invest into your business, how you expect your business to grow? You know, if you don't physically do the business, how would you ever know how to do the business? And if you're mentally not thinking about the business, not understanding business, and you don't even think about owning a business, you will not be you will not have success long term, because business is a way of life. No matter what business you're doing, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're taking notes, I want you to write that down. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And understanding that your network marketing business is just a business. You know, it's a business, and be sure that you devote the same level of commitment to it. If you had your own beauty salon, if you had your own barber shop, if you owned your own, Staples or Office Depot or whatever business that you have, treat all of your businesses with the same type of commitment. From there, your business will require a certain amount of commitment from you in all areas like time, effort, and finance. I want you to write that down. Your business will require a certain amount of commitment from you in areas like your time, meaning that you have to put time. Most people think that success is going to happen overnight, but you're really not a professional at anything that you do unless you put in at least 10,000 hours. If you haven't put in at least 10,000 hours, you shouldn't feel bad. You shouldn't even feel like you worked hard until you put in those 10,000 hours minimum, right? Effort. You got to put effort. If you don't put in the effort into anything, listen, just think about it, right? What if I gave you a seed and I told you, go plant the seed, but you plant the seed and you never water it? What do you think is going to happen to the seed? It's never going to grow. So that's the same way with being a business owner. You can't just start a business. You have to continue to put effort. And by you putting effort every single day, it's equivalent to you watering that seed. And finance, that fertilizer, right? If you don't have any good fertilizer, how do you expect your seed to grow and bloom and produce a lot of fruit? See, a lot of people think that they can just pray their way, into success, but you have to actually put your money behind it. You have to invest into yourself and your business. If you don't invest into your business, why would you ever think that you'll be successful? Every person that has a successful business, they put a lot of money and effort and time into growing that business. You might not see it, but I promise you, if you sit down and you have a conversation with those individuals, they'll tell you, man, I put a lot of time, energy, and money into this business, right? Although these commitments are minimal compared to the requirements of traditional business, these are there nonetheless, meaning that these are important. Time, effort, and finance in any business that you do, especially network marketing, you have to do it because I did it. I'm only going to tell you things that I did. I'm not going to tell you to do a whole bunch of things that don't make sense. Listen, at the end of the day, you have to put time into building your business. You have to put effort into your business, and you have to put finance. You have to put it back into the business. So most of the money I made into the business, I put it back in the business so I keep growing. So that's why I'm here 9 years later, and everyone I started with are no longer here. What's the difference between me and everybody when I started with? They stop putting time, they stop putting effort, and they stop investing their money into their business, into their people. From there, by making a commitment, you minimize deterrent, meaning that, will I do this? Will I do that? Will I attend that meeting, that seminar? Do I really want to go out tonight? Can I afford this? Can I afford that? By making a commitment, you already answered the question, so you just do it. See, if you don't look at this and a light bulb went off to you, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to repeat it one more time. By making a commitment, you minimize deterrent, meaning that you already have all of the answers. So instead of you having to ask yourself questions every single day, by you being committed, you just do whatever it takes. That's literally what this screen summarized. You do whatever it takes. You stop asking yourself a whole bunch of questions every single day, like most people do. Will I have success? Will I make money? Will I grow a team? Would I do this? And there's people to this day that they've been in years in the company and they still ask these questions. And the only reason why they ask these questions because they're not committed. Because if you're committed, you have no questions. You have no questions. You just do whatever it takes. You just do it like Nike said. You're not asking yourself a whole bunch of questions because you are already committed to getting whatever you need to get done, right? Increase your knowledge to increase your income. I'm going to repeat this one more time. Increase your knowledge to increase your income. One of my favorite mentors, Jim Rohn, said you get paid for the value that you bring to the marketplace. The reason why a person make minimum wage at McDonald's is because what value do it bring to work at McDonald's? But think about a person that does something to impact the world or to make a change or to help the world, right? That value is up, so they deserve to make the millions or the billions of dollars that they do make. So you have to first increase your knowledge to increase your income. And wherever you are at financially at the moment is largely governed by the amount of knowledge and skills that you hold. If your reason for getting involved in network marketing industry is to increase your income, then it's only fair to assume that you are also going to have to raise your knowledge and your skills. The only way to get to the top is by growing and improving your knowledge and improving your skills. The more you grow, the more you earn. So again, increase your knowledge to increase your income. And guess what? The best part about it is no one can do it but you. It's kind of like me going to the gym. Me going to the gym is not going to benefit you. It's only going to benefit me. So I can have all of the knowledge in the world and share it with you, but if you don't go out there and seek it yourself, you're not going to get the results that you want, right? And there are many different ways to gain knowledge. You can be self-educate. Like me, I read a lot of books. I watch a lot of videos. I'm very well self-educated, right? You can do courses. You can join business groups. You can research online. All of these are valuable, and each of these has their own merit. Our advice is a combination of all of them. Just be a sponge. Form educated opinions, increase your value by increasing your level of knowledge. You just got to be a sponge. You just have to figure out ways of learning something new every single day and become a good student and be open to learning. No matter your title, no matter your age, no matter what, always stay a student, right? Because you're building a network of other people with their own independent businesses. People who will often look for you for guidance and advice. The quicker you become a good student and gain the necessary knowledge, the quicker you will become a good teacher. Because it's saying like this: in order to be a good lieutenant, you have to be a good soldier. See, everybody want to be a boss, but nobody want to be a worker. You have to first be a worker to be a boss, because how can you understand what it takes to be a boss if you was never a worker? So meaning that you have to take the steps. Everyone don't take the elevator to success. Everyone is not born with a silver spoon. But I promise you that the people that take the steps, those are the people in the long run that continue to become successful because they actually did the groundwork on what it takes to be successful, right? So again, gain the necessary knowledge, and the quicker you will become a good teacher. And this will lead to your business growing far more rapidly than it would otherwise. Another important reason for becoming a good student of your business is that it is proven that knowledge equals confidence. Confidence equals action, and action equals results. Without sufficient knowledge, people will tend not to act because of a lack of confidence in what they're doing. When they do act, their lack of knowledge tends to lead to a less than favorable result, which in turn leads to a disappointment, which in turn leads to less activity. Meaning that if you're not confident in what you're doing, you're never going to be successful. You're going to seem like a fraud. If you're talking to someone about your business and you don't really believe in it, how do you expect them to believe in your business? Because at the end of the day, you're only projecting your beliefs onto other people. Because people follow people, people don't follow a business. I don't care how much you say you believe in it, but if you are not that person where someone feels as though you can lead them to where they're trying to get to go, no matter how great the business is, they're not going to follow you. So again, you have to develop confidence, right? Becoming a student of the business, first you will gain the confidence required. And secondly, you will see immeasurable results because of your knowledge makes you far more effective. Become a sponge. Soak up as much information as quickly as possible. Prepare to listen to those who have runs through the board, and be humble enough to take advice and guidance. And this right here can be The key to your success is just being humble enough to continue to be a student and take advice and guidance. Because guess what? I don't matter how long I've been in, I don't care how much success I've had, I'm still a student of the game. I'm still open to learning from other people that have success, and I'm always open to advice because listen, someone can make mistakes for 5 years, but in one conversation, they can teach me how to save 5 years of not going through what they went through in my business. So again, be open to learning from other people that has already been successful. Overcoming fears, we all have them, right? The single biggest thing that's holding people back from achieving their dreams would be fear. Fear can take many forms, including the fear of the unknown, the fear of people, they're scared of success. They're scared of what people might think. They have fear of, what action is required, fear of failure. People are scared to fail. Why? Because in school we're taught never fail, right? But we can agree that in the real life, you have to fail. And then people even fear success. It's crazy. Some people are scared of how successful they will become and the things that come with success, the responsibilities. So people are not just scared to fail. Some people are also scared to win. Do you understand that being scared to win is a crazy thought? But guess what? There's a lot of people today, they're scared to win. And unfortunately, we all suffer from some of these fears to some degree. So again, fear just means false evidence appearing real, right? The good news is that feeling fearful is not limiting you. Many of the people we look up to in all walks of life have at some stage have to confront their own fears before achieving success. Very few people have achieved success without having to overcome fear. The thing that unites them is that at some point they decided to not let the fears hold them back. When I got involved in the industry, no fear. I don't care what nobody thinks. Period. I don't care what nobody thinks. I got to get to where I got to go, meaning that I have to set myself up so that one day I can just live the life I always wanted to live, because growing up, I couldn't get a job until I was 17 years old. So imagine going from a young person where all you wanted was a job to then you got your first job and you said, nah, this ain't it. I need to become my own boss. So when I made that decision, when I got involved in network marketing, my mindset, I was already ready to be my own boss because I hated working at Applebee's so much. So it's all about timing. ACN came around at the right time because I was hungry. I hated working at Applebee's. I hated serving 2 for 20s. I hated leaving work at 2 o'clock in the morning and then having to go to school 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, I just hated the cycle. I'm like, man, this is not life. Because I seen that was people that was there 10, 15 years longer than me. And I said to myself, if I continue doing the same thing, I'll be just like them. Because they pay you enough money just to be there and not quit. I didn't want to live that lifestyle where I'm just working just to get by. No, I want it all. My goals scare me. Fear is the enemy of success. If you don't address it, it will control your life. The best defense against fear is action. Action cures fear. Let me repeat it again. Action cures fear. So if you're not having success right now, put in more action. If you're scared to talk to people, go talk to more people. Whatever you're scared of doing, just do it. Because the moment that you do it, you're going to cure that fear. You're no longer going to have that fear anymore. Have you ever noticed that when you take action and do what you fear anyway, the fear often quickly disappears? It disperses. What we fear turns out to be not as bad as we thought. This thing about someone that's scared of a roller coaster. I used to be scared of roller coasters. I still ain't. I won't get on it. But I remember when I was scared of them. And I remember I went to a park one time. I said, you know what? I'm getting on every road. The scariest one I've been on was the Superman. Everybody knows about the Superman. So you go all the way up and then it just drops. But the moment you get off of it, you're ready to go right back on it. But 10 minutes ago, you were just scared because you understood that it was all in your mind. But the moment that you just do it, the fear kind of disappears, right? And some of those common fears confronted by people in network marketing are what? Fear of the phone. You scared to call somebody? Come on, let's be real. You scared to call somebody. You scared to call somebody. I don't know why in the world people think this weighs 1,000 pounds. I don't know why. Pick up the phone. Your fear of rejection. If you listen for the guys on the call, if you have fear of rejection in life, what I'll tell you to do is that just go out and just talk to a lot of beautiful women, and you'll get rejected. And then after a while, guess what happens? You'll get over it because most guys, we're used to rejection. It's just how life is until you become super, super successful and no one rejects you. But on your way up, you're going to be rejected along the process. Women, they're not used to too much rejection. So they kind of deals with it a little different, right? Fear what people think, right? You care what people think in 2022. I don't know what to tell you. Fair change. Listen, you got to change. I changed my life. Listen, I moved from a country, I moved from an island to Baltimore. Then I moved from Baltimore to Texas. I moved. I'm only 28 years old. I've been able to move to different places and develop a new life because guess what? I'm not scared to change, right? And failure, I feel my way to where I'm at right now. But instead of me doing it over a period of 40, 50 years, I just do it in my 20s. So by the time I'm 30, listen, it's millionaire status. Because I always told myself that, you know what, just sacrifice 10 years in your 20s, man, just go hard, deal with it. Go through all the failure, learn, do everything. So that by the time you're 30 years old, 30s is the new 20s. 30s is the new 20s. I already look like I'm 19. Do you know that you can age backwards? See, people don't understand. Listen, when you feel young, you feel energy, you listen, it's all in your mind. How you feel is how you become. You look at Mr. Thomas, if he didn't tell you his age, you'll think he's 25. Because he has good energy. He's always excited. He's not letting his age determine how he feels. So again, just get rid of any fear that you have. And in most cases, fear is a perception driven rather than fact or false evidence appearing real. Like I told you before, when action is taken, regardless of the fear is often diminished because we now see the reality rather than the perception. The challenge is that it can be easier said than done, but understand that you want to achieve your dreams, you must first be honest with yourself and identify what are your fears, and secondly, take action. What are your fears? After this call, the call to action is I want you to get a piece of paper, write down what you fear, and then go and do it. Whatever you're scared of, go do it after today, right? And most people who achieve success are not extraordinary people. They just do they're just ordinary people who have done extraordinary things. Deciding to take action in the face of their fear is one such extraordinary thing. Meaning that, listen, the reason why they're successful is because instead of them just being scared, they just did it anyway. That's the difference between you and someone that's already successful. They had the same fears, but guess what? Instead of letting their fears hold them back, they decided to use that fear to project them to where they are today, right? So to end the call today, don't let fear hold you back in building your network marketing business. Understand that it is normal to have fear, and it's taking actions to overcome it that will set you apart from the average person who allows their fear to control them, right? The first step in overcoming a problem is recognizing and being honest with yourself about your fears, and use this section to note down your fears that you feel are holding you back in your business, right? Once you have recognized them, sit down with your coach or your support team and discuss each one openly. Just be real with the person that you're working with. Let them know your fears because listen, closed mouth don't get fed. If you don't let your mentor know what problems you have or what fears you have in the business, how can we help you? We can only help people that want to be helped. This is not a nonprofit organization. This is a for-profit organization. So we can only help those that want to be helped, right? So today, that's kind of all I got for you guys today. And I want to pass the call back to Mr. Thomas.